Let's hear him. No, yeah. All right, so 7 years later, in Yemen, Michael is in prison. He's alive and he's in prison.
Yes.
What can you tell us about it? How do we find out that he's alive again?
Well, I think that was the crux of what had to be figured out because we killed him in season 4.
Yeah.
So it had to be a believable, exciting, interesting kind of rebirth. The creator of the show, Paul Shearing, he basically came up with this idea to use the Odyssey as kind of the structure of the season and kind of use all those mythological elements to kind of bring him back. So it's a mystery, and it's something that kind of carries through the whole season. You really don't learn the secrets until, you get a little bit at a time.
Yeah. Right.
It's the full season.
Yeah, that's something I was actually going to ask about, the fact that this is taking from the Odyssey and like classical literature in general. And how do you feel like that kind of melds with the modern TV, and how did you kind of meld that together and work with that classical literature and bringing it onto the screen in a new, modern, fresh way?
Well, it's interesting. Kurt Sutter I did an episode of Sons of Anarchy, and he based that on Hamlet. I think you could literally do almost any show and base it on some kind of classical mythology, but I think Paul very smartly, used the elements that worked, which was the idea that, Odysseus is coming home, trying to get home to his wife and family, all these obstacles along the way. I think all of the kind of the key elements are very modern.
Yeah, and everyone's stealing from something, so you might as well steal from Homer.
Right.
Yes.
So
he's lasted.
Is Michael himself the mystery of this prison break? Because even in the first episode, when they finally meet, you see, not only does he have a different name, he seems like a different person.
Yeah, I think there's a giant mystery that is centered on him, I would say. So there's you'll sort of see the various tendrils of that, throughout the season.
Yeah, one of the main questions of the show is, who is he? Where has he been? How has that changed him? Is he the same person? Is he even Michael? It's really the crux of it.
Have you read any fan theories about this upcoming season that are completely off base or really interesting to you?
You know what's funny is I don't do that.
Really?
I read the other day that Jonah Nolan on Westworld rewrote something in the second season because someone figured out one of his plot twists.
Oh my God!
And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't have time for that.
Right.
So I don't follow fan theories.
Yeah, we've been asked a few theories that we were kind of like, who are those people? What are you talking about? They went very obscure. But it's not like we're not trolling subreddits to find out.
No.
Would you listen to a fan theory and go, that could work better for the next season and just
steal
it from them?
Oh. Yeah.
We try. You don't
seems
want
like
to do
a bad
that.
idea.
You don't want to take someone's idea, so I actually try. We try not to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
People guess stuff, but it's just creative ideas. I find there's almost like creative parallelism that as soon as you come up with it, someone on the other side of the country is coming up with it. I think that's just part of being human, but yeah, you try not to borrow from unnamed sources.
That's true. But we do have lots of smart and rabid fans, so I'm sure they're going to figure out a lot of stuff.
Oh, without a doubt.
There's just, we've got a lot of our nation's brightest minds working right now on what is the end of Prison Break. So, somebody's going to figure it out.
For instance, I had posted a photo of Michael and Sarah, which was just off, not on set, kind of on set, but not in a scene. And I think I wrote something on Twitter the future or the past, right? And so someone then, 6 months later, finds a picture of Robert Knepper, Teabag, standing next to the same chair that they were standing next to in that photo, and they were like, it's the present.
Right.
So they're intense.
What can we do?
Is Teabag's new hand even harder to do than hiding his stump in the original series?
It's pretty easy with VFX.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's actually pretty easy.
He's just wearing a green glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's wearing it, and then the character is wearing a glove on top of that at times, but he has full mobility of his hand, so it was nice for Robert to be able to pick things up with his left hand again.
Yeah, much easier.
If there's one thing that you hope fans pick up from this new season and from the reboot, what would you hope that they take away from the new season?
I think I hope that they enjoy it in the same way they enjoyed the first season. That sense of mystery, that sense of being pulled along a journey but not knowing the answers. All the questions that always surround Michael, feeling like he's the man with the plan. I hope that they kind of re-experience that, because that's certainly how we tried to design it.
Was it easy to figure out where the other characters would be 9 years later?
I'm trying to think of how. Not particularly. It was just sort of. It was. We just wanted everybody to have an exciting story, and to really and we have such a great cast. We really wanted them to be able to sink their teeth into a new arc, and so once we sort of figured out kind of where we wanted them to be, and sometimes that involved where we needed to start them on that arc, and so. I guess it was a challenge, but it wasn't.
And you had to take into consideration that they had just aged 7 or 8 years. They had lived all those years. They, Paul, the creator, had had kids. You had to take that into consideration. Where are they at now? How have they changed? Sarah's in a totally different place. And that's just part of, I think, picking up again after so many years and thinking about where they're at.
Well, Lincoln, when we first see Lincoln again, he's not in a very good place. Is it sort of bittersweet to know that the whole series was originally about saving him, and in order to keep going, he has to sort of be set back?
Yeah, and that's, that was actually one of a decision that, it took us a little while to find in terms of where he starts, because there's a lot of different forces in play in Lincoln's life, but one of the main things is that he's been away from his brother for 7 years, and his brother's kind of been this North Star, since the originals. So so we realized that was where he would be based on that, and then he gets to have an arc and move from there.
Yeah, we wanted to give him a really meaty, juicy arc, and if everything's hunky-dory at the beginning, it's like, who needs Michael? I'm good. So we really wanted to fill that character in and give him a journey that would really include his brother again, mirroring that first season, which was Michael going in to do that for Lincoln.
With the new season taking place in Yemen, shooting in Morocco, I think it's probably going to come across some of more controversial topics dealing with the Middle East and things like that. How do you feel navigating those themes on screen, kind of with what's going on in our modern day, and kind of facing that? Did you take that into account when you were working with it, or just kept it in a bubble with what the show was doing?
I think we were always very concerned about just making sure that the way we portrayed anyone in the Middle East was fair and balanced. Clearly, there are ISIL and there are these terrorist people that do these things. They're represented, but we also have many representations of Muslims that are good people and doing the right thing. And we certainly didn't want to make them caricatures in any way. And also, when Paul came up with the idea, that was 1.5 years ago, I don't think he really knew it was going to be so topical.
Right.
I think it just,
Yeah, and also Paul is very candid about this. He's not trying to make a political statement with it. It was just a part of the world chosen as being kind of as far away from Sarah as possible at the beginning. So he's just got this epic struggle to get back to her.
It feels foreign, it feels far away, so that was tied into the Odyssey as well. Like another world you have to get back from. Yeah.
Cool.
It seems like every time we learn something and think we know where something is going, that it really sort of veers in another direction. So should we be taking anything at face value?
That's good. I like that.
With Michael Schofield? Never. Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just that character, right?
Yeah, I think every time you think you've outsmarted Michael, you find out you haven't. So.
And I think that's the joy of the character. He's a very Wentworth is a very kind of mysterious actor. He has that vibe, and it really works for that character.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the character of Canyon?
That's a little more than we should say.
Yeah.
I think. You spoiled.
Sorry. We'd love to answer, but
yeah, love to.
All right, guys.
Cool.
Last question, or are you guys good?
I think we're good.
Cool.
I think
You
we're
good?
good.
All right.
Thank you
Thank you guys.
so much.